What's up, guys? What's good? Happy Monday. It is going to be an incredible week here. We're going to kick things off. It's day one of the Tradeify Cup. And this week, we're going to focus on just trading the way we usually trade. We're going to execute everything as well as we can. We're going to do everything that we always do. I am going to give an extra little bit of focus on the Tradeify Cup in general. So I know a lot of you guys are doing it right now. Most of you guys should have your credentials and all that good stuff. And so I'll be guiding you guys throughout that experience this whole week and the next week as well. So round one, round two. Yeah, it's going to be dope. I'm stoked to do this. It's going to be fun. Obviously, it's a little bit different, so I am going to be very intentional with how I communicate going about this cup, because what you don't want is like a tournament like this, which yes, obviously can pay money. You don't want that to affect your actual trading, which probably has more on the line with more accounts, more time, more energy, more capital. So we're not going to get too crazy there. But yeah, let's dive in. So all right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and start showing the screen here a little bit. Man, yesterday, like Asian session off the week, honestly was awesome. So not that I could get involved in any trades, but it was a lot to do. So let's check that out here real quick. But yeah, let me know in the chat how y'all are feeling today. Let me know, what you have in mind, what you're looking for, what is good. Who do I got with me today? I see here, Foz from Puerto Rico. What's up, Joe Ryan? Lonzo, shout out Lonzo. Just got funded again. Now working with 3 accounts. Let's go. I know you're killing it right now, man. Congrats. What's up, Vaughn, Seth, Ernie, Gabriel, Kevin. What's up, KB, man? Brandon, Harshi, Marty, Jane, Patrick, Maria Lisa, buenos dias. What's up? Corey, got tagged out. Okay, happens, man. You know how the weeks go. It's a test. It's going to be a test. Happy Monday, Yoselin, Jeff, Veronica. First time on the live session. It's a good one to be live for, trust. Anyone have good brokers? Futures or CFDs? What are you focused on? Yeah, it's a good LNNQ. I feel like I know which one you went for. So yeah, if you guys have setups you want me to look at, go ahead and drop them in the school community, and then I can go ahead and take a look, especially the syndicate squad and then fast track guys. Like, go ahead and drop them in there. All right, good morning. So, okay. Now, the market here is in an interesting place because we definitely had on Friday, like the final push up to here before it all came crumbling down. And this happens across the board. The sirens are out in the city already, so it's time for the chaos in the market. It already knows. That's like our early New York open bell. That's the Chicago open bell over there. So we see a nice liquidity sweep from like this area here. I would say we just mitigated at least this order block. Maybe we rejected over here. So I want to get to the smaller time frames to kind of see, did we already mitigate and close the smart money buy positions before it sold off. So this was Friday, this last push up before it all came down. It quickly came in to fill the imbalance and then dropped off again. So it's a little bit of a trickier setup because did it or did it not already, see the exchange of money from this intentional orchestrated buy, which takes out retail sellers, lures in buyers before everything crumbles its way down. So did we already see the exchange of money here? Well, we can kind of find out if we go and take a look at Dow and S&P and kind of see what that looks like over there. NAS and forex. Not sure if there's a broker for both. Okay, so that's called CFDs. Also depends, are you in the US or are you outside of the US? Then I can kind of guide you through what I would do if I were you. Obviously not telling you what to do exactly. And yeah, this was unfortunate because I wanted buys with NASDAQ. First, I was looking for a shakeout right here yesterday, and then that didn't work out. And then we didn't get low enough to take the buy position here on NQ. I wanted some buys in this zone down over here, and we didn't quite get there. So still the possibility that we do work our way down to here. So I'm not completely against that. I think there's a possibility here. So here was the 15-minute structure that I had in mind. It's all over here. And we don't quite get over to here. So I think there's still a shot that we get down here. Now what did reverse out of our zone was Dow. Dow came into this huge sell-off that we had marked up. And we saw the accumulation over here. During the London session, you get one more spike down before it rallies. So there is a possibility that we're looking for buys for Dow Jones as well in this area over here. The only downside is that when this spikes down, when we see this push to the downside, this does trade near these equal lows. So I will be mindful. I want to see how we work our way to the downside, if that happens today or tomorrow. But yeah, so let's see how bearish things get overall between NASDAQ, Dow, S&P, and maybe one of these buy setups works better or worse. Just depends on what kind of movement that we get today, okay? So yeah, with that being said, Dow, on the other hand, similar movement to NASDAQ, where it has like that last push and then the reversal. We get something similar with this, one more push up here, and then the market does its thing. So we still, in my opinion, we also missed this. So I feel like we're gonna get one more leg up before things drop. The US, okay, so unregulated brokers, Marie. Okay, so if you want your money regulated, if you want to go through mediums which are good, like your money protected, there's no weird thing going on, then you actually can't trade indices if you're going to go through CFDs like MetaTrader and TradeLocker and all that stuff. There's not really a way to do that. Well, if you want to use MetaTrader and regulated, you could use AMP. That broker is technically trading futures, but with MetaTrader. So you could go with that. However, I would just suggest, for the sake of long-term longevity, protecting your money, start learning how futures works. It's really, really similar to forex, like and NAS and all that stuff. So it's really similar to that. And then you could use NinjaTrader, Tradeify. It's a little bit like a learning curve. I'd say it'll take you a week or two to get used to it, but then you're fine. So yeah, that's what I would do if I were you. So same thing here with sells with Dow. I think we can get up to here and then sell off, and then we have buys over here as well. So either one is definitely possible. And then S&P to me is the clearest sign that the market can still push one notch higher. If you look at how this was the final move to the upside right over here, and then and only then. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. Let me start recording over here. Which screen am I recording? 1 second, y'all. Okay, here we go. That's better. So, again, going into replay mode, and we're about a minute away from New York Open. If we look at Friday's price action, we're kind of chopping up, moving sideways, and then this is where the market gets its last push up and then drops. So similar to what happened with NQ, market crashes, immediately comes back in just to sell off pretty aggressively. So if the market already rejected here, let's say this already mitigated, then I could understand why this would be the sell that you might be looking for. a little bit lower, one notch lower over here, which we spiked up, down, up, down. So we've already rejected out of here a couple times. So it's based on your interpretation of what you believe is like mitigation or not. That's really the case. So I am open to shorts still up in this range. I think that they're possible up here. And I'm just going to kind of see how we move our way higher. One thing that we're seeing here, right where New York is about to kick things off, we rejected this order block right there. So Dow is starting to push higher while NASDAQ is only going lower. So if the market starts to sell off, like let's say this just dumps without us. And here's the big thing, before we get started, really get started. Remember guys, don't feel rushed. Don't feel rushed with this. Don't feel like you're gonna miss something, okay? Market's always moving. Setups are always either triggering for us or not. There's going to be a million different ways in which you can make money and a million different ways in which money leaves without you. So don't trip on it too much. All right, let the market just kind of get to the key levels that you want it to get, that make the most sense or not, or either or. So right now I'm going to have alerts set here. We're going to have everything nice and smooth. I'll go look at metals and oil and all the good stuff too. Don't worry. Don't you worry. We're going to be all good over there too. All right. Can I get just a double check that quality's good on the stream? Audio, video, the screen share. Okay, so yeah, so we can see that NASDAQ is already selling off, right? It's been just pushing and pushing, so it's definitely more bearish, faster to kick things off here. Dow is not dropping at that same rate, so these buys might make the most sense over here. So stay tuned for that, right? We have an alert right there if we do start to crack our way down and just sell off. So I like to just keep a couple key points just so I know that I have a pulse on whatever assets I have in mind and I don't have to constantly look at them. Okay, so that's the indices. Now metals are really interesting because we finally, and this just broke below where I wanted my buy, so this just tagged me out before reversing. So NAS and gold did the same thing for me. So right now we see a massive sell-off right here. This happens as soon as the market opens, right? Market opens, or we had the market open, chop up, and then later, a couple hours later, we had another sell-off. So, all right, basically here, we dump, stop for a minute, and then just continue to aggressively sell from here. So you have just this whole zone, really. And this, what you see right here, this is an example of consolidation. So there's a lot of liquidity, there's a lot of just the masses buying in here. So you have very typical stop losses in this place. This is where a lot of retail buyers are in, so they would have to sell back their positions if the market gets below this again. So I do believe that we're getting pretty close to establishing bullish structure now that we had lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. This really struggles and fails to stay down here, so we don't really get bearish structure. This, you can tell the intention behind this move down is more about getting sellers to chase this move, liquidating buyers that are trading these structures, and then doing their thing. So right now we're starting to see the market break above. So if the market can maintain this structure, then we could look for buys and all this good stuff. So really what we're looking for is kind of something like this. All right, the market to just stay bullish for some time, And then on a pullback, you can start looking for positions here. So something like this would make quite a bit of sense. So gold would, this is what I'm looking for, and this is what I'm waiting for gold here. And then I can go ahead and here, all right, I'll make it like kind of what I'm waiting for today, May 18, 2026. We have, how do I just say this thing? There we go. All right, so gold. And then here's the link to this specifically. And then these are just the trades that we're looking for. So we'll keep this here dialed in. All right, Dow alert going off. So it looks like Dow started to sell off as well. Does NQ do the same? Kind of. Okay, so look at how we had right after New York opens, Dow spikes down, comes back up one more time before selling off. And Q has just been a kind of a steady drop. So now we're seeing everything sell off together for the most part. Okay. There's a chance that we have, it kind of will depend. I want to see how price continues to roll out, but there's a chance that we can get a Dow sell right here. So we saw this, see how it's moving sideways, things were consolidating here, and then we get like one spike up here before things drop again. So maybe I might be open to selling this if we stay bearish down here. If this immediately reverses right back up, then no, I'm not looking to sell anything there, which looks like that might be the case. So I probably will stay out of that. And then always remember the mini charts, they have more volume, so you're gonna get better data feed right here, better information. Look at how NQ is dropping, S&P is still dropping, Dow is reversing like this. So yeah, I'm gonna stay. I'm not gonna look to chase this one. What looks like it's more and more likely to work out is this buy here for Dow Jones on the 5-minute. This here looks like a better and better trade idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this one as well. Here as a setup. So that's a Dow. Here, I'm gonna make sure just to give you guys enough context. So this, if this stays retracing at a slower pace than NQ, S&P buys would be valid for me. Okay, so you got that there now as well. The sells, man, would have been really nice. We had the zones in this area marked up. This happened before New York opened, so no dice. Thank you. All right, so we looked at gold and we looked at silver. Right, silver also breaking above a lot of these highs. It's really similar. Gold and silver really similar in its approach. Gold, in my opinion, dropped a lot more aggressively and then came up a lot quicker. So it looks like a much cleaner buying opportunity. Like there's just a bigger imbalance. So I wouldn't be surprised if silver ends up selling off faster, more aggressively. So we'll stay in the lookout for both. They're both pretty solid. And then you have oil. Oil. Oil has been honestly a pain in the ass. I wanted to see, so this we clear liquidity right here. Liquidity sweep, the market starts to chop up over here. So market opens, takes out a lot of the sells from, let's just say, the past over here. So it takes out these highs, trades into this imbalance right there, and then sells off. So it goes down to here. So I'm looking for a short after it gapped up, and then it doesn't do that. It takes out then the entire high, like the high from April. Then it gives the shakeout setup over here. So I took a shot at this in this zone. I should have, like somewhere over here, because it was kind of moving sideways. This sold off, so I think this is actually where we had the reversal. So money comes in to trade into the imbalance. That wasn't enough, and the market then rallies again. This move over here takes out the highs of last week and for the month, and then we see the market chop up, do its thing over here. So with all that being said, we get a nice little reversal. I think we see a shift of structure, lower lows, and then here a couple hours ago, 2.5 hours ago, we see the market spike up one more time right over here. So we get an aggressive move to the upside, and then everything reverses. So I do think that we have the opportunity to sell oil over here in this zone, now that the market on the smaller time frame has been going bearish. But I want to add, this is bullish on the higher time frames. Like, this is bullish. We have higher highs, the 15-minute. We have the market give us the lower low here that it broke beneath briefly before continuing to rally. So right now, to me, it looks like we go so aggressively to the downside. The market doesn't confirm that it wants to keep going bearish, and I think that we're in reversal territory here. So if I'm looking at this from the 1 minute, the market's consolidating a whole bunch, just moving sideways. We get a big sell-off here, and then as soon as it sells off, we see it reverse right back up. We start moving sideways. So to me, I'm seeing there's retail buying happening here, some consolidation. And it seems to me like we could reverse to clear out some of these buyers. Sellers kind of chase this again, and then we see the continuation either up to here or, you know, way up to these zones. So I do think we can get reversals overall back into these areas, and it's similar zones, like just how Dow can sell off and then buy later. It looks like oil can do similar things. So I'm gonna keep a lookout on both. I have alerts here just to kind of keep my eyes on how the market's moving and go from there. So S&P still rallying more to the downside. Dow kind of here, not as much. So I know, for example, some people are like, here's how they trade. Now, I don't believe in this way of trading. It doesn't make sense to me, but it works out for some people sometimes. So you see how NQ has been selling off and S&P has been pushing down. Some people look at this and go, well, Dow hasn't done that yet. So let me take Dow because Dow still hasn't dropped and everything has. It's like trading it as if, oh, well, S&P and NQ are just showing the future for Dow Jones. I don't think like that. To me, I want to go with what already has momentum. So I would have preferred to short this. So the way I trade this is, instead of trying to force a sell with Dow, which has the least aggressive movement to the downside, I would rather just take the buy on Dow whenever it gets here, if it gets here anytime soon. So if it doesn't, then that's fine. You know what I mean? Whereas if NASDAQ or S&P were to give me a sell opportunity somewhere, then cool, that would make more sense to me and I could take that. But for now, I don't have that. Okay. Meanwhile, all right, so there's all that So I'm not in a rush with any setups. There's nothing for me to do right now. The trade that's been going pretty well is this Australian buy that we marked up a bit ago. This was Mondays, so we took a buy here over during Thursday's Asian session going into Friday's New York session. This just kind of mitigated bare minimum, and then on like a couple hours into the session yesterday, this spiked down and then rejected out of this zone over here where we've seen a lot of support. I had marked this up end of April, and then we went over again during a couple sessions throughout the month. So I know Lonzo, I know you took this one. You're pretty on point with following along with currency pairs. So I don't know if this is the trade that got you funded again. But this one's running pretty smooth. Who's in 6A by any chance? What's up, Fast Track? What's happening? Quality's good, all good. Mondo, what's up, Mondo? I took a shakeout sell about 50 minutes ago at 45.65 on 45 on gold. I didn't see anything here. Or like right here. 3 hour and NQ, nice. Let's see, so this took out some liquidity here, Friday's highs. Yeah, I mean, it took out New York session highs for sure. And then it came back down. You had this moving sideways. Filled the imbalance completely. They didn't really leave liquidity here. It kind of spiked down. This is a trickier one. It looks like it rejected the order block, and then that was kind of it. Silver also looked pretty similar. Silver took out Asian Open, but silver didn't take out any of those New York highs that you were looking at. So that might have been the sign silver still had more liquidity to sweep. Yeah. Okay. Took that shakeout, got break even, did as well. Small loss. TP last night, a little over 2R, 3R and NQ for 6A. Hold up, skirt. All right, so take a look at this. Oil right now coming into this zone. Like I said, I wanted the buys in oil below that as soon as it took out liquidity. I'm open to buys in this area. So I'm okay with this. We do a quick check-in on indices here. Look at Dow is now up in this range. I'm open to this. So I'm gonna take a position here with oil. I'm gonna go with 3/4 risk on this one today. And then, yeah, run it up. So I just took a position on this. This also copied over to the Tradeify accounts, Lucid accounts, TopStep accounts, Apex accounts, and then the Tradeify Cup account. I could see this losing, right? Obviously, every trade I take, I'm prepared to lose, expecting to win. But one of the big things that I don't like so much about this is why I didn't go full risk, is that if NASDAQ, like NQ and S&P, these aren't in key reversal territories. So it looks like oil is trading a lot more similar to Dow Jones over here. So see how we have that reversal zone for Dow as well. But the reason I was more inclined to buying oil is because it kind of goes with the momentum a bit more. Like oil has been bullish, so it would be following oil's bullish trend. So I was open to taking this position there. So this played out pretty similar to what we were thinking here. And then we have a lot of imbalance to still go and tackle on. Like the market rejected this structure right here. But yeah, go ahead if you guys are taking and trading with your copy traders. just go make sure that they're working, right? That they're gonna do their thing. So let's see here. Contracts wise. All right, yeah, we're set here. Looks like it's all good. And just so you guys know, strategy-wise, like how I'm approaching this Tradeify cup, I am trading it a bit more aggressive. I'm risking anywhere from like 300 to 600 per trade. Honestly, people are going pretty aggressive with this. So day 1, day 2, and I'm sure even day 3, like people are going to trade heavy, which kind of makes sense. Like it depends on how you want to approach this. So for the Tradeify cup, and I'll bring up, thanks, man. I'll bring up a couple things here for you guys. So while this is active and doing its thing, one, I want to walk you through the rules. So if you're doing this, you can get an account for free. You can join it for free. So here are the rules for this. Top 1,000 traders. Well, here's how it works, right? The top 1,000 traders with the highest balance at the end of this week move on. And I believe if you just finish in the top 1,000, like everyone gets $150 or something, $156, something like that. And then after that, now also in this first week, your first account is free, I believe. I think regardless if you have an account or not. You start with 50K. You have 2,500 of drawdown, so you have more than you would with the normal 50K challenge. And then the contracts, you can trade up to 10 micros or 1 mini. All right. Also, then you have 3 resets, and they're each $29. So let's say like day 1, you go crazy aggressive, and it doesn't work out. Then you can, pay to reset it. If in your mind you're like, I'm just doing this free challenge, I'm not going to pay for this at all, then I would say, keep it somewhat. I'd say still you want to push probably 300 to 500, just because my thought process is it's going to take having well over $3,000 of profit to get in the top 1,000. So that's how I think about it. So if that's your case, then I think just see kind of where you're at going into Thursday and Friday. If you're doing it conservative and kind of let's see where everyone's at. Day 1, guys, it's easy to be profitable in a day for 1 day. But people are going to lose it. Like, trust me, most people, I think 50% of people lose their challenges in day 1. So people are going to get too aggressive and they're going to end up losing it. So I would say don't go as conservative as you probably normally do, but if you are willing to reset it a couple times throughout the week, then I would say be okay with trading a little bit more aggressive right now. And just so you guys have enough context to it, right now the top 1,000. So let me show you guys here. Where is this here? Page. So before I started the stream, so I'll show you guys right here. Before I started the stream, to be in the top 1,000, your balance had to be at 4,500. Some people, started trading a lot during Asian session, whatever. This is before I started the stream. Right here, 4,500, 45. Let's just say 4,500. Now if I refresh this, and then let's see, I can go to here, a couple pages in, it's pretty similar, I still think. Yeah, it's like 45.50. Cool. So that's where it's at right now. Obviously, like it's easy to keep an account for less than 12 hours or 12 hours or so. I wouldn't be surprised if it finishes somewhat around here, but now you just kind of have an idea. And but don't worry about it too much right now. I'd say if you're going to go aggressive, do it early on so you have time to reset later if you want to. Know your cost basis, basically. Like if you're going to be like, all right, you know what, I'm cool to go aggressive, and you're better off going aggressive early than when you have less time later, right? So yeah. Anyways, with that being said, our oil trade is currently running in some profit here. seen a decent reversal so far. The market rejected this order block right here with definitely a lot more of an imbalance to go towards. So this is the first trade of the cup, first trade of the session. This is not a whole bunch quite yet, but if this does play out in our favor, then we're looking at, I'm looking at taking this at least just towards these areas. So if we start to trade upwards into this zone, into this imbalance here in the 1 minute, then I'll start to move my stops, kind of tighten things up a little bit. But I want to see this push a little bit further along. So in a little bit of profit, nothing crazy yet. Metals still pushing higher. Indices, S&P, whoa, massive reversal on S&P. I'm assuming NASDAQ doing something similar. We didn't sell, right, Dow. And then, yeah, so it looked like the market came back down, broke below this 1 minute briefly, and then is rallying. So out of all the indices, as you guys can tell, NQ working its way back the slowest by far, right? So it's very slow on the way up. Dow already with a ton of momentum. Dow came back, played right out of the structure. So here's was this last sell-off. This enticed sellers because it was a big move, and then it immediately ate it back up. So it kind of treated this as an order block. So it played out of here, played out of the structure, and then just absolutely sent it with this one. So if there was going to be a buy, this would have been a place, you know, Dow would have been the buy like I mentioned earlier, but I didn't want a rejection out of the order block. I wanted to play it out of the low. I like extremes instead of trading in the middle of the range, so like I'm okay with that. And then now we've seen Dow take out one of Friday's structures over here. S&P still pushing a little bit further into this range, so we still have this big area where S&P could sell from. And then NASDAQ is slowly but surely also working its way towards the high of this structure. So interesting. Indices moving in very interesting ways. Metals still kind of staying bullish, while oil is just kind of fighting it out over here. Holding down the line. Here, let's see. Hopefully this doesn't log me out of this account. Alright, looks like we're good. Okay, cool. Any questions regarding oh, you know what? Oh, never mind. I didn't remember if I had changed my contracts for oil. So remember, guys, oil is on MCLN, right? MCLN. Pull this up. All right, starting to get a decent move. By the time I ended up getting in on this, my stop was about 67 ticks. This right now is running about 20. So 25, almost 30. So not quite at a 1-to-1 yet, about half R so far. Starting to get a little bit of a push here. All right, so we're about 40 points now up in profit. And now that we've came back to infill over here, everything is pretty rebalanced over here, so I am open to tightening my stop. So now my risk exposure is very small. How are you guys managing this? Are you taking this trade? Let me know in the chat. You guys up? Yeah, remember, some of these people are taking minis. So they're taking minis. What computer do I use? I have a, what do I have? Mac Studio. I have a Mac Studio M1 Max 2022. You don't need a lot to trade. In there, cool. Okay, sweet. About to hit the Apple Store. All right, Harsh is in there. Brandon, Jeff, Nate, Greg, Janko, Vaughn, Marty, Nance is in. Let's go, babe. Come on. All right, so we're good. This is rolling. Never used Tradeify before. Kind of hate it. You don't have to use Tradeify. You could use TradingView. You can connect your Tradeify account to your TradingView and do exactly what I'm doing here. That's what I'm doing. This is through TradingView. Yeah. So all right, if all your Tradeify Cup accounts as of right now are in profit. I should have risked more on that one, but actually I'm gonna change this, modify this here, because I am willing to be a little bit more aggressive on that cup account. Okay. Need a PhD to operate Tradeify. That's so funny. It feels like that, right? Looking like a no trade day, no setups to follow my model, and that's okay. That's okay. Reminds you of MT4. It does not really remind me of MT4. I feel like it doesn't. I don't feel like that. I think MetaTrader is really intuitive. Like MetaTrader for me felt really easy. Felt really nice. I just actually hopped on MT5 for the first time in forever. I found out a way to copy trade my futures to CFDs. So CFDs, be ready for me again. Just saying. So yeah, MT5, a couple of updates that are kind of nice. I prefer TradingView. Yeah, I prefer TradingView over Meta as well. Definitely. MT4 on desktop. Oh no, yeah, MetaTrader on desktop. Yeah, that's ancient. That's just some. I don't know what they're just not. It's like NinjaTrader. NinjaTrader on desktop is crazy, dude. How do you do that? Okay, so basically, this is man. I need to make videos on this. I'll make the trade copy video today because I know that a lot of you are wanting to do. You want to do your own accounts, your challenges, the Tradeify cups, all that stuff. So I'll do the futures copy trade video, and then I'll do I don't have this one perfect, so the futures to CFDs one. I'm doing it. I haven't run into issues, but I'm sure there's gonna be some. So that one I wouldn't say I have down to a science, but basically with Traders Connect, you connect your futures account and your CFDs account, or vice versa. And then what you have to do is you have, it's called symbol mapping. So if you're trading NDX with your futures CFDs account, then when you trade NDX, it knows that means you're trading NQM whatever. So it knows that. And then it will open the contracts or lot size based on the risk that you set in your account. So this means you have to use a stop loss. And so it'll automatically calculate how much you're risking. So like $300 on this account, and you want to do proportionally the same thing, it'll just automatically go, okay, cool. This person wants to risk, or let's say this person wants to risk 0.5% on this account. So it'll just risk 0.5% on that account based on your entry and stop loss. So it's pretty trippy. I'm doing Tradecopia for futures, Traders Connect for futures to CFDs. I'm doing a Tradecopia specific one. Yes. Okay, so we're running now over a 1-to-1 on oil. I'm gonna just move my stop into profit here now. So risk-free, running on all accounts right now. Looking smooth, looking good. Okay, we just took out the high, so we're pushing here. The next target is going to be this imbalance over here. So let me zoom out a little bit just so we have awareness. So we caught this one shakeout where we've seen some levels of support in the past as well. So moving upwards really nicely. In the meantime, so right now we're collectively up about maybe like 5 G's. Okay. So here's how people are up a fat amount. People are just going to trade a mini. So like this, for example, this is one trade alone would be like $1,000 right now if it was trading a mini, which is I didn't have I had my risk as a 1-to-1 with that account. Unfortunately, we're up, but not as much as I guess we could be. So S&P took the highs from New York Open and then dropped. Dow basically traded to the peak of Friday's. I think it took out Friday's New York Open and then dropped as well. And then NQ filled in balance and then just immediately worked its way down. So are there signs that the market can keep going lower? So if indices keep dropping, that typically means oil keeps dropping as well. And I would say that there's very likely this keeps happening to one, take out these these Dow, oh my God, I'm losing it. Nasdaq has a trend line. So sweeping this trend line looks likely, in my opinion. Dow has a whole bunch to drop still. It already rejected the order block. And then as soon as this came up, it came back down. So if this kind of continues this way, then we should be seeing the market just, the other place for this to reverse is either down here or way down here. So if the market is going to continue to move downwards and not reject this, then we have a long way to go. So this could be a trade that I am looking to hold for quite some time. Gold has all this liquidity as well they can target. So there are opportunities. However, oil on its own, the first target, like I mentioned, right, it was filling this imbalance. So phase one of this has been completed. So some of you maybe hit your take profit. This hit a 2R. So let's just leave that there. This came back up here, went and hit about a 2.34R if you got the exact entry I got. If you had a lower one, obviously you got more. So this was like TP1, right? TP1 was within this imbalance right over here. So if that was your target, awesome. You're good. Let it rip. If this thing keeps crashing, then it looks like it's bouncing here. So typically when it takes out a high like this and an imbalance, I want to see if it's going to hold the structure and just keep going. Because sometimes this just goes up. All it wanted was imbalance fill and then it just comes crashing down. So in those situations, typically I'll kind of follow along a little bit more tightly. But it looks like it took the high, filled the imbalance, dropped, and then just rallied again. So it looks like we're rallying pretty well. I am looking to take this towards these areas up here. So I'm not taking anything off the table yet. My stop right now is in profit. And let's see. Meanwhile, gold, silver still pushing downwards. And Q just chopping like crazy. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna keep holding oil. Metals specifically look like they're giving a big reversal here, so I feel okay. I feel comfortable with holding oil a little bit longer, just holding it to where I wanted to get to. This takes us to above a 4R. And then regarding like the cup and all that, like don't give it too much attention. Right now, just trade your game. Just do your thing. Right? Don't worry so much about where people are ranked right now. We don't have enough context to see where they're going to finish. And remember, most people, think about it this way, most people don't ever even get to passing a challenge, which is going to be the equivalent of this. So y'all are in good hands right now. Okay. Taking a look at this, the other ideas that look pretty good sometime this week, you had yen that just continues to spike up and drop. So you keep seeing selling opportunities for the yen. So those of you that have this in mind, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. This has just been going down, just going down the steps. So here's another one for you. So yen getting back down to here, getting up to here. You can see another short. Peso hasn't worked its way down. This is also pending. So we got a couple things to look for here with the yen. So I can share this one. This one's pretty easy. Here's the yen, 6J. If you're trading CFDs, then it's going to look the opposite of this. You have Mexican peso, you have this setup still. So this looks pretty nice. Equal highs over here, so profit-wise, this probably continues to go further. If you want to be conservative, then you could trade it into like this, like this area. So it kind of depends on, what your interests are here, but this looks pretty good to me. So here's the peso. Where did this go? Oh, here we go. Anyone already take profit on oil? Or anyone already call it a day? You're like, you know what? That's good for me. Okay. Entries anywhere else? I mean, we still have these euro ones and pound. I think it was both. Here we go. Maybe it was the pound for sure. With the pound, we sweep liquidity and it just crumbles down all the way down to here. It's got a long way to go. Long way to go here. So pound, keep this one in mind. These are all like days, if not, it might take weeks. So there's no rush on these currency ones. So I'm gonna put these to the side. There's no rush to these whatsoever. So, all right. Well, the yen is different, right? But so we'll do currencies here, right? Currencies. Keep this nice and neat. Give a little context to this one. This has a high probability. What's up? This is a high probability of happening this week. Then the rest of these currency setups might not trigger for a couple days or weeks. Okay. Save. All right, quick update on oil, guys. We're breaking above the highs again. The little 1 minute highs that we're seeing here. So we're continuing to push. Right now we're sitting closer to a 3x, almost the 3x territory. So we 2.67 at this little peak right here just filled this imbalance. If you want to look at oil CL, you can see it right there as well. If you guys don't want to, if you want to take it just exactly to the spike up, then obviously you can carry that even further. I'm going to take mine at a 4.3R. I can see this going closer to 5, but that's cool with me right here. Okay, how are gold, silver? All right, doing another push down. Dow. So look at how Dow now is starting to really work its way down. The shift in price action is a lot different now. After Dow made the biggest move to the upside and it took out quite a bit of liquidity, looks like the sellers are like, all right, cool, buyers are out, let's just keep dumping now. And this was very short-lived, so I don't expect Dow to keep going higher. I do expect this to keep going lower. That's what I'm prepared for. All right, let me just zoom out with currencies a little more since we were going through these, seeing if we had any setups for later. CAD is a decent trade here. This one is probably going to take a long time to get back to. Nice little sweep, and the market just goodbye. This honestly is going to take forever, so I won't even share that yet. So if you're looking at currencies right now, Australian had the biggest pump, but then it just couldn't hold the highs up here on this 15-minute. So it's starting to work its way down. Nothing else really captures my attention. So if you guys see something different, let me know. I took first smart money exit on oil, just a TP. Nice, 2.5 hour complete. Nice, good job, guys. Just connecting Tradeify to TradingView, thanks. Gotcha. Secured 2R, done for now. 2.5 hour R on a day in the cup. Is it trailing drawdown? I don't think so. No, I don't see why it would be. Well, like the typical trailing, like end of day trailing drawdown, not like intraday. So these 22K freaks still only have 2K drawdown? No. Up 7K on my Tradeify Cup account since yesterday. Oh, my boy's chilling. So honestly, if I were you, bro, I wouldn't even trade that anymore. I don't think there's I don't see why. Like 7K, in my opinion, you should be chilling. Yeah, so these 22K freaks, that's so funny. 22K freak, these freak shows, they just, some good scalping energy right there, maybe. These freaks. Why was that so funny? Harshi popped off. Let's go, my boy. And yeah, let him run. Harshi, we'll see Harshi here on the leaderboard. He ain't playing. Let's see. I think you're probably sitting somewhere in the middle of the pack, maybe top 300. Let's see. Tradetopia representing right now. Let's see. Where is Harsh? I'm looking for you, Harsh. What's your username? Let's see, maybe are you over or right under 7K? I might have missed you. I don't know. Harsh XM. I can just search y'all. Sick. Ooh, it says 6K. Boy, maybe they're not updated yet. But look, yeah, dude, this, I think you're chilling with this one. Like this is clean updates every 10 minutes. But yeah, this is good. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think that was my bad. Last update today this updated like 20 minutes ago. But I think at that point, I can't imagine. Look at this guy just jumped 9,000 places in the past 10 minutes. This is when you throw a mini at, what would that be? Silver? Probably, it's probably a mini on silver.
And a good old prayer.
Yeah, look, 9. You have like 2 points to stop, otherwise you're just done, dude. Like there's just no. That's why like a lot of these are gonna be hit or miss. So like it's kind of why I get it. Like if you're gonna just absolute degen a setup, like you can basically afford to do it once, maybe twice. After that, then because you can only get so many accounts, so you know. Yeah, but decent. Because remember, all you need to do is be in the top 1,000. That's it. I wonder if they're the way they do the duels, where it's 1v1 in round once you get to the second week. I wonder if they're gonna match you from the top to the bottom. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Okay, so this took out the highs, and then this is kind of just chopping here. I'm moving my stop up a little bit, but not too much yet. I like the structure that we see here. This to me looks like it's been trading above for 17 minutes or so I could see a pullback and continuation. So I'm actually gonna keep my stop right there. If we do wick down and rally, on the cup, they gave me it. What did they give you? They won't let me play silver on Tradeify. Maybe it's not silver. I'm not sure. SIL. I don't remember on Tradeify if you can't trade silver at all or if you can only trade the mini, like SI.
Yeah, I don't remember you can
I
trade
think.
silver Tradeify.
Yeah, I don't remember which one. I always forget.
Let me check your AdSense.
That's so funny, dude. Yeah, these freaks. But yeah, good stuff, Harsh. You can't trade SIL, but you can only trade SI. There you go. So yeah, keep us posted if you're, in the top 1,000. I'm not yet. Definitely not. Let's see. What is my name on here? Is it Mago? Maybe. That'd be cool. El Mago. I'm down $2, guys. I think this is me. Ace Mago. I know this guy. That's the boy. He might be on the stream right now. So this is definitely delayed. I'm not advancing, guys. I'm so bad. The worst is this, dude. I looked at it like a minute after it opened and people blew their accounts so fast. All of these are 14,000 people are in this. It's pretty cool. All of these are already clapped. If you want to know how many people have clapped their accounts already. Thousands and thousands, and then reset right away. 28,000 traders. Oh my God, that is a lot of traders. Saul Goodman, man, Saul Goodman, just what a G. All right, oil ripping some more. Thank you, good sir. There we go. All you need is a few good trades, honestly. Out of oil at a 3RR. Well done, my friend. Well done. Yeah, so we are now hitting 3RR territory. just spiked into 3R. So I know for many of you, 3R is your fixed profit as well. Clean. Yeah, had we sent this one, this would be up in the 2Ks. This is reduced too. This was with less, like 3/4 risk. This is where a lot of times you'll see like I call it like a traffic jam. Like you get resistance over here, things will slow down since you have the equal highs, you have some of these order blocks. So you can see the market kind of slow down. This is where also you may see it incentivizes people to get out, right? Or to want to sell. So right now, let's see where we have indices. Consolidation with indices. NQ slowly still pushing lower. And then metals are are making the good moves. So oil on its own, looks like we made the right call. Oil was the best possible trade we could have taken at that specific time. And I felt really good about this because we were going alongside the higher time frame momentum. So it cleared the low. We took out Friday's New York low and just a key level here. And then from there, we were pretty much good to go. So yeah, it looks good. Sells on natural gas. I'm not selling natural gas. I think I understand why you're looking to sell. You see a sweep of these highs, the market drop down. However, this to me is not a clear sign of bearish structure. The way this trades like this, we break below, and we are below here for a bit. Like I totally see that. I want to know how to explain this better, but the nature of this going down and right back up, yes, it was down there for an hour, but since we're bullish, to me it looks like this was the actual motive, was to exchange this sell-off for buys. So this push down here to liquidate these lows and to cancel the sell for buys here, and now it's back to the upside. So for me, this looks more bullish than it looks bearish, and I would stay out of that. Yeah, but that's obviously my opinion. You know what you're doing. You know your game. You might trade natural gas more than I do, so they might have certain tendencies that you kind of follow better. So don't take it with a grain of salt. Sell on NQ? Where? So you had NQ make a big run, missed where I wanted to sell. This took out London session, Asian session highs, and then it worked its way down. Didn't really create the most demand down here. It's pretty choppy. It's not textbook. I can see it, like, maybe it spikes up to here, it sells off again. It's not my setup right now, though. Yeah, I'm okay. Let's see. I want to see if this thing updates me yet. Damn, bro. No updates. Well, guys, great way to kick things off for the cup. If you traded with us today, you are in position to you should be up on it. Whatever risk you took, you're up either this much, less, more. Maybe you're Harshy and you're up 7,000. Let's go Harsh, leading the pack. Let's get it done. Well done. Gold buys. Yeah, so I do have setups on metals. I did share my thoughts on that here. With gold, we've seen the market trade above here, back and forth a bit. So it's not super convincing on structure yet. Maybe this. Like I would want to see buys down here for gold, like 4,500, 4,510-ish. I don't love that. Every time it tried to stay bullish, this thing just kept losing momentum. So we'll see. Silver traded up here for a lot longer. So silver might end up being a better buy. So yeah, just keep that in mind. All right, silver rallying some more, or oil rallying a bit more. This should put us at roughly 4.3334 R if this does hit take profit. And then, yeah, good stuff. All right, guys. Well, congrats. Let me know how it's going for you in the cup and your accounts. If you guys passed any challenges, if you got qualified for any payouts, obviously let us know. We love to see you guys winning. We want to share your testimonials. This obviously it's proof that the systems we teach you guys work. The way you process your thoughts, you manage your trades, rolling out your entire system functions. And for us, like, that's what we want to see. This is a place where, regardless of your situation, you can evolve your trading. You can get this down to a science. Obviously, we have abilities and we have programs in which you can work with us way hands-on, based on your skill level, based on the time that you're willing to dedicate to this, and based on how fast and how bad you really want it. So if that's you, obviously there's some programs you can take advantage of. Fast Track program being more for beginners who want really hands-on work and development. Nancy's going to be live with the Fast Track group today in just a few hours, and we will have Fast Track again in June. And then for those of you that are intermediate, experienced, advanced traders that can get close to funded, lose it, your technicals are good, but your system's a disaster, or your emotions are a disaster, or you can get funded but you're not really getting paid or not paid consistently, that's what this group is designed for, and that's the syndicate program. So I'll go ahead and share that with you guys here in front of your screen. So go check that out, scan that so you can learn more about it, and you can have a conversation with us whether it's a right fit for you or not. And at the end of the day, we'll give you some feedback so you know what to work on, regardless if you decide to move forward with that. But take care, guys. Enjoy. We'll be in the school community, in the Tradeitopia community in there, chopping it up, going over some more charts and giving feedback. So if you see any setups, if you have any questions, go in there. Best of luck to everyone in the trading for the rest of the day and the week. We'll be live again tomorrow for day 2 of the cup. So I'll go ahead and actually set it up so you guys can see that we're going to have that session tomorrow. All right, and tomorrow is the 19th. So take care, y'all. Trade smart, trade responsible, be disciplined. Remember, it's just one trade at a time. That's all you got to be good for, one trade at a time every single day. All right, y'all. Peace.